this is AOG Gaming here, back with part 2 of Finn's swords. These are the swords that he specifically keeps. They're his main swords. I don't know, and the ones that he uses the most often, yes. So we have a mention before we go on to this Knight Sword, epic trinket weapon here, and its lore. There's another weapon he uses after he uses the Finn sword, another epic trinket, epic weapon in this game. The small sword, it's just a rapier blade basically, and he uses it in 2 episodes, Do No Harm and Elements. And he starts using it more than all of his other swords, and then it breaks with his fight with Grumbo, so he loses that sword. These swords that I've been talking about for part 1 and 2, they're swords that he hasn't lost. But part 2 is going to get into other swords as well. Knight Sword, the one epic weapon we are viewing as of currently, and you guys have been viewing, was created by Peppermint Butler in Marcy and Hudson's episode. He gave it to Finn to protect himself from Princess Bubblegum's family. I don't remember that. Very powerful, as it contains dark magic from the Nightosphere. I talked about this, I think, in my last episode, but cool. Sorry, in part 1 of this episode. It has been shown to be quite durable against attacks and can shackle/negate the powers of other beings. It has a demonic eyeball and a compass in the middle of it. 1,000 years into the future, it is in the possession of a giant bearded sweet pea. A grey version of the sword is foreshadowed a few episodes earlier in the background cameo of the treehouse. So I think you see it when Finn and Jake fist bump run outside of the treehouse in the intro. A cameo. So those are all the swords that he mainly uses and he has most of the time. Fortunately, he doesn't use his Thunder Sword until later, so no legendary weapons. So in the game, Knight Sword, 2 damage, +1 per 3 stars. Better on Finn. Is good on Princess Bubblegum as well, because it makes up for all the damage that she doesn't do against certain balloons, and just damage in general. Warrior Princess Bubblegum, that is in this game, because she's the only Bubblegum that can equip a sword. So when I refer to Bubblegum with weapons, I'm assuming you know, because if you play the game at all, you know that Warrior Princess Bubblegum has swords and regular Princess Bubblegum does not. If not, then I just clarified it. For those of you who don't know, that is okay. Anyway, it sucks the soul out of every 10th balloon. So pretty cool. It's one of those exotic effects in the game. It's kind of DOT / slow crowd control, but it's just weird. It's cool. I like it. It's okay, but it's not the best epic sword there is. The damage makes it higher tier though, because that's one of the better stats. Anyway, we have more swords here, but Finn doesn't use... Finn uses these. He keeps them at the tree fort though. The problem is that some of them aren't in this game. Balloon's Adventure Time Tower Defense. But I will look. I can't go into the lore of every weapon because, before we complete this entire series and you guys start complaining, I can't do weapons for the monkeys unless I will do lore, but like just specifically from the game and the website, I guess Ninja Kiwi's website, to see if I can find any lore on them, the monkeys in this game. But it will be hard because they don't show up in the show. Anyway, Steel Sword, honorable mention because it's not in this game. In the episode Morturi te Salamudis, Finn picks up a steel sword in his first battle in the Fight King's arena. So he gets stuck in arena, I think. I don't exactly remember this sword. It's original to his gold sword. It has a leather grip and purple gemstone with a tiny pink gemstone at its center. The sword is in very good condition. It is seen in the episode still something big as well, and uses it to defeat Darren in that episode. Another honorable mention, not in this game, something Ninja Kiwi could add as a final update, is Aromatherapy Sword. It's used in the episode Slow Love. There's a pink jewel sword in the center of the hilt, at the end of the hilt, sorry, with the hilt that is pointed on both sides and a pink gem on the bottom. The sword is seen slicing Finn's bed in half, but Finn has not been since using it himself. The pink jewel is actually a scented oil diffuser which stuns opponents. Cool. It's a silver whitish blade. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Just like pink diamond in the center and a little jewel at the hilt. Wakizashi. I believe this is it a Nagata blade? I don't know. Finn has two golden wakizashi in the episode Slow Love. Wakizashi, there you go. Honestly, they look like katanas, but it's hard to tell because it doesn't look as curved as a katana, but it looks of oriental like descent because just of the mastery. Look at how cool those swords look though. They don't have any dragons on them, but they're just two gold. They look like two golden katanas. I guess they're wakizashis. Maybe that's a real sword. Here, let's look it up real quick. Wakizashi. Oh yeah, it's Japanese swords worn by the samurai in feudal Japan. Okay, so that's a wakizashi. Not a katana, but a wakizashi. Interesting. So maybe it's like the swords of samurai. That's pretty cool. They're used by Finn when he teaches Snorlax to do sword tricks. Interesting. Snorlax isn't in this game, so Snorlax is the name. Then there's loot swords. Various swords, daggers, and other weapons that can be found scattered throughout Finn and Jake's tree fort, though they are never seen used by Finn. So there's a lot of swords, but these are just swords that they collect. These guys collect so many swords. I don't understand why they lose the more powerful ones, but I guess they have some powerful ones. They use it when they go to war in the later seasons. Yeah, you guys have to watch this show. This show is just a beautiful sort of like birth of a show. It's great as a kid. It's great later on. A little cringy, but it's okay. I just like it because it's just how well the story is written, and just how weird, like uniquely it is. Uniquely weird. Anyway, Frozen Sword, another honorable mention. Not a weapon in this game. In Fiona and Cake episode, Finn is frozen in an ice cube, and he's holding the sword that looks exactly like his golden sword, but it doesn't have a red gem on the pommel. So I guess it's just a frozen sword. Interesting. Is there a trinket? I'm gonna check real quick, but there might be a trinket called Frozen Sword. The Iceberg Shield. Interesting. Iceberg Blade. Sorry, I didn't read the description. Okay, well, that's okay, I guess. It's not a very cool weapon, but it doesn't look exactly the same as the Frozen Sword I'm looking at right now on adventuretime.fandom.com. Next honorable mention is CG Sword. In the episode A Glitch is a Glitch, Finn uses a sword like his golden sword. The sword we are talking about is in this game. The gold sword that we are talking about in the description of the CG Sword honorable mention is the epic weapon, unimaginably amazing sword in this game. And it looks like the gold sword, but it is the coloration of the sword in the logo. So this one actually looks like the sword in the logo. So I'm assuming that's what is the sword of the logo, which is why I was saying the unimaginably amazing sword doesn't look like the logo sword in this game, but the one that he gets in this episode, A Glitch is a Glitch, he actually gets a version of his golden sword, the epic weapon again, unimaginably amazing sword, and it's called the CG sword, and it looks like the sword on the title and show. Now, temporary swords, these are swords that um, Finn has collected, but he's only used them like a little bit and then he's lost them or he's imagined them or dreamt of them. Yeah, it's like Finn is on LSD, honestly. Honestly, he's having dreams like me though. I have be having some crazy clear dreams that just rock like just my entire reality for a second and then I'm like, okay, I'll get over it. So Sword of the Dead. I don't. Oh yeah, it is right here. So this one's a cooler looking sword. It's called the Soul Redeemer sword in this game, but if you actually look it up for the show, it's called the Sword of the Dead. The sword of the fallen warrior imbued with vampire magic. Um, I didn't talk too much about the last two weapons for in-game stats because I don't see them as the best weapons, and also because some of them weren't in the game. So, Sword of the Dead. Finn wields the Sword of the Dead, or Soul Redeemer Sword, if you would like to call it that, to defeat Marceling's father in the episode It Came from the Nightosphere. He draws the sword from the grasslands before his battle, splits open the pods in Hudson Abadir's gullet. So I guess he slays him too, which he is using to imprison the souls of Voodoo. Oh yeah, because Hudson Abadir is evil, guys. He's a good character in game, as in he's good at attacking, but he's an evil dude. He just wants souls. Finn drops the sword while reciting the incantation to open a portal to the Nightosphere. Interesting. Finn and his clumsiness, but it'll be a constant theme as you'll see. So yeah, it's called the Soul Redeemer Sword. It's a super rare weapon. The range is okay. Range is okay of a stat, but I would rather it be speed or damage. Pierce is one of the most useless, but it's good for some cases, and it is good to have Pierce rather than no Pierce. Gain 1 life per 100 pops, so it's okay. It's better for early game, that's for sure. Next sword that is not in this game, but is in the show. While Finn is under the control of Fight King in the episode Mortui de Salomaris, he fights with dual swords. That is what they're called, because it's just two pairs of swords. They look kind of... Okay, well, I have no idea where those swords are from, but they're pretty cool. They look like a single sword that is completely split apart from the tip of the blade. Yeah, that's pretty true. And it's like a diamond-shaped blade. When Finn is forced to fight Jake, he only uses one of them. Okay, cool. Crystal sword. I don't believe it is here. Wait. No, this is... Oh no, this is an imaginary sword. Okay, so Crystal Sword. It's not in this game, but it would be awesome if Ninja Kiwi added it as a final update. I'm gonna keep saying that until Ninja Kiwi updates this game one more time with all this content. I'll give you ideas. I'm giving you ideas right now. Crystal Sword. Mortal Folly. When Finn, Princess Bubblegum, and Jake meditate, Finn is grown up in his imagination. The imaginary Finn has a new crystal sword in the back scabbard. This sword makes other appearance in an issue of the comic series which isn't canon. Interesting. The Dungeon Sword. I don't think... Oh no, this is per character, yeah, so I'm gonna just stick to all characters. I was gonna see if I can just go straight to swords. I don't see it, so I don't think it's in the game. But he uses the sword he found in the dungeon to fight the eye creatures. But the fire creatures melted shortly before Princess Bubblegum rescues Finn and Jake. Interesting. I think they get trapped in a dungeon, yeah. City of Thieves size. Finn steals 2 size in the episode City of Thieves, but they are taken by 2 angels at the end. Again, not in this game, but in the show. Yellow daggers. So I think this is actually one we do have in game. It's not a... weapon, but it's a trinket. So, uh, it looks different in game though. Yeah, I think it. Oh no, it's this one. Okay, cool. Looks exactly like this windmill dagger, and in the show it's called yellow dagger. Um, it's very effective against ceramic balloons, so it gives you 1+ damage to ceramic balloons. In the show, he picks up the twisted yellow dagger outside of the windmill when he and Jake approach the monster in the episode The Monster. It resembles a kris, an Indonesian dagger considered to possess magical powers. A fat villager was later seen wielding a similar dagger. That's awesome. Next is the shark sword, last one for this part. There's still more swords and we'll go over them, but that'll be a little bit later. And also most of the rest of them are non-canon. But yeah, so yellow dagger, that's pretty much it for it. Actually, no, we'll end it here and we'll do the rest in another part. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. This is AOG Gaming. Like and subscribe for more content. I am going to release gameplay tomorrow, but this is just a new series launching. So like and subscribe if you guys are enjoying this content, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.